Alright, so I've finally put in 4 to 5 hours into Silent Hill F. I've been wanting to actually play this game for, it has been one of my highly anticipated games for this year, just because it's like a whole new Silent Hill IP, you could say, or like in terms of content. Coming into this and, like covering, all the articles and demos, the game was coming in leaning towards like a more so action focused survival horror, which I had no problem with. Like the combat actually seemed interesting. It's like seems like it's all melee focused, which is completely fine. But as soon as I dive in and actually play the game a bit more, and I've kind of upgraded some stuff, honestly the combat to me, it was such a letdown. And I hate to say that so much, and I know this is probably the team's first ever survival horror, along with them making something new like this in terms of its action portions, but I was just very irritated throughout my 4 to 5 hours every time we initiate to go through the action sequences or segments of the game, just because it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't flow properly. They limit you on so much, because they try to stick with the survival horror formula, but at the same time I felt like situations like this, just embrace it at this point. Especially if that is like your core gameplay element other than the puzzles. Right now, the issue that lies with me is the stamina gauge. You're so limited with the stamina from the start, and it's still very crucial of you to like do these upgrades and whatnot. I'm playing on hard mode, by the way, but needless to say, whatever difficulty you're playing on, like there needs to be some balance changes in terms of how things are limited. And it feels very awkward in boss fights or just even regular encounters when you're just trying to do certain moves but you can't, because every movement that you do in the game with Hinako is locked behind the stamina meter. I don't know if they're ever going to change this. I don't know if there will be like a big shift and change in a future update, but I do like the concepts. I like how the characters are. I'm very interested in the story so far, and I like everything else. I mean, exploration could be a bit better because I randomly get stuck on like random geometry on the floor because the pathways are very narrow, and that also ties in with the combat as well. Also, there's like a camera issue I have. For the most part, again, the combat hopefully gets polished up in the future or DLC, or if they ever make a newer game later down the line.